speaker will be Phyllis Jones, also a U.S. Pointer participant at the Chicagoland site. During the intervention part of the phase, she was assigned to the structured group. Phyllis is a native of Chicago, where she had a 30-year career as a computer programmer, but has recently transitioned to software testing to stay connected with IT. And of course, have a little more enjoyment in her life, and a little less stress. She's a proud mother of a son and daughter, and the delighted grandmother of 2 beautiful granddaughters. They remain her greatest why in the fight against Alzheimer's. Phyllis?
Baker said was, they encouraged us to step out of our comfort zone for social things. I think I'm doing that right here. This is not something that I'm used to. So, good afternoon. To be here today as a participant, a witness, and now a voice is more meaningful than I can put into words. I want to begin by telling you about the version of me that I now call Phyllis BP, before Pointer. Looking back on that time in my life, I hardly recognized myself. I had spent years eating the standard American diet. I rarely exercised, and honestly, I was neglecting my health. Then life began to pile on. A layoff after 28 years at a job I loved, the death of my mother following her 8.5-year battle with dementia, the isolation of the pandemic, and the loss of other close loved ones. At the same time, I started a new job in a toxic work environment. The workplace stress became so intense that it resulted in a panic attack, complete with physical symptoms, and a trip to the ER. I was out of shape, I wasn't sleeping, I had become emotionally numb. My family and friends noticed too. I was circling the drain, and I felt it. Then I found out about the U.S. Pointer study, a lifestyle intervention trial focused on preventing cognitive decline. The qualifications felt custom tailored to me. I ticked all the boxes, probably more than I'd like to admit. They found plenty of room for improvement in my numbers and in my lifestyle, so I got the call to proceed to the next phase in the selection process. That call may very well have been my lifeline. A full 2-year commitment. I was randomized into the structured group. We spent the first 4 months slowly learning and integrating the study's 4 core lifestyle pillars. The support was constant and personal, and because I saw it as an answered prayer, I gave it everything I had. Now, let's talk about what I gained and lost by being fully immersed in this experience. I gained a new lease on life. I'm no longer just waiting for life to pass. I'm enjoying the ride. I gained a sense of control over my health future, especially when it comes to diseases linked to metabolic health. I gained the power to break the generational cycle of dementia in my family. I gained a community and a purpose to give hope to others. I gained a network of incredible people, friends, mentors, and fellow advocates. But hey, full transparency here, because I also experienced some significant personal losses from being totally engaged in this study. I lost the title of pre-diabetic. My A1C has finally made it to the normal range. I lost the threat of being put on statins because I found my cholesterol under control. And although this was not a weight loss study, as a side effect, I lost 30 pounds and a foot. Well, actually 11.5 inches around my waistline. I lost chronic joint pain, and with it, the occasional need for knee and ankle stabilizers. And most importantly, I lost the belief that pain and decline are just normal parts of aging. Some may ask, was it hard to commit? And that's a great question. The hardest part was deciding I was worth the effort. Once I embraced the structured, everything else followed. This journey has changed me, and I'm just getting started. because once I learned that dementia affects the Black community at twice the rate of my white counterparts, I knew this could no longer be just my story. I visited one of my uncles and shared what I was doing, and his response, "So, when are you going to start your workshop? When you learn something this powerful, you have to share it." And that brings me to who I am today. I'm Phyllis AP, after Pointer. I'm energized, I'm living with purpose, and I'm doing everything I can to reach out to those who may be feeling what I once felt, hopeless, afraid, or alone, because there is hope. And while participating in the U.S. Pointer Study, I learned that it's found in small, consistent changes and in communities that lift each other up. Thank you.